Welcome to The Explainer. We talk a lot about the internet, but today we're going to pull back the curtain on the real workers, the unsung heroes that make your connection actually happen. All right, let's start with a little puzzle. You've got a digital address, right? Your IP address. But think about it. What good is an address if there's no one there to actually deliver the mail? Who's doing all that heavy lifting behind the scenes? So to get our heads around this, we're going to use one big idea. The internet is basically a giant postal system. And today, we're going to meet the staff. We've got the local mail carrier, and we've got the main post office director. Let's see how they work. Okay, first things first. Before any digital mail gets sent anywhere, every single one of your devices needs its own unique spot, a place to send and receive from. And that's where this thing comes in. The Network Interface Card, or NIC for short. Every single data packet, every email, every cat video, it all starts its journey right here. It's literally the physical mailbox for your computer. It's the port you plug that internet cable into or the antenna that grabs your Wi-Fi signal. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Your computer doesn't just have one address, it actually has two of them working in tandem. You've got the IP address, which is kind of like your current mailing address. It changes if you move your laptop to a coffee shop, right? But then you have the MAC address. Think of that as your building's permanent serial number. It was set at the factory, and it never changes. And you really got to get this distinction to see how the whole system fits together. All right, so we've got our mailbox, the NIC. Now it's time to meet our first postal worker. This is the guy who handles all the local mail, the stuff that's just moving around inside your home or your office network. And that worker is called the switch. Just think of the switch as the super efficient mail carrier for your local neighborhood, your LAN or local area network. This mail carrier knows every single house, your computer, your printer, your smart TV, and its job is to zip mail between them super fast and super accurately. So how does it do it? Well, a switch isn't born smart. It actually learns as it goes. When you first plug it in, it just sits there and listens. As all your devices start chatting, the switch is busy taking notes, building a little address book called a MAC address table. It's basically mapping which permanent MAC address belongs to which physical plug. And once it has that map, bam, it can send data directly where it needs to go, no fuss. And let me tell you, this is a huge leap forward. Before the switch came along, we had this thing called a hub. And the hub was, well, kind of dumb. It was like a town crier who just shouted every single message to everyone on the network. Super slow, really noisy, and not secure at all. The switch, it's the exact opposite. It's a discreet, private delivery person, making sure your mail goes only to you. Okay, so the switch is our local champion. But what happens when your data needs to leave the neighborhood? What if you want to connect to a website that's hosted on a server halfway across the globe? Your trusty local mail carrier, the switch, has no idea how to get there. That's where the Postmaster General comes in, the router. The router is the gateway between your local network and the great wide world of the internet. It has two main jobs that a switch just can't handle. First, it connects different networks. And second, and this is the big one, it's the master navigator. It looks at that destination IP address, the one that changes, and figures out the absolute best, most efficient path for your data to travel across the entire internet. And you know what's kind of cool? That box that your internet company gave you, it's not just a router. It's actually a multitasking genius. It's usually a modem, a router, a switch, and a Wi-Fi access point, all crammed into one little box with blinking lights. It's basically your entire local postal service, all in one. All right, let's put it all together now. Let's follow one little data packet on its epic journey, from your computer, out to the internet, and all the way back. So you type a website and hit enter. Instantly, that request leaves your computer's NIC, it hits your local switch, the switch looks at the address and goes, whoa, this isn't for anyone around here. So it passes the packet to its boss, the router. The router looks at that global IP address, figures out the best route, and sends it on its way across the internet. After jumping across a bunch of other routers, it finally gets where it's going. And then the whole process happens in reverse to get the website back to you. And this all happens in what, a blink of an eye? Incredible. So let's recap the big takeaway here. Each one of our digital postal workers has a super specific and really important job. It's all about knowing who does what and where they do it. Just remember these three things. The NIC, that's your device's personal mailbox with that permanent MAC address. The switch, that's your local mail carrier, using those MAC addresses to deliver stuff inside your network. And the router, that's the big boss, the postmaster, using IP addresses to connect you to the rest of the world. So we've met the workers. We get the two-address system. We've seen how it all clicks together. But that leaves one big question on the table, doesn't it? We know who delivers the mail, but what about the roads they travel on? What are these highways of the internet actually made of? That's a story for next time. Thanks for joining me.